You can't say that's terribly fashionable, but you can't say it's not good either. That's Ray Charles, sings Basie Swings. That's Ray Charles and band leader, long dead, Count Basie Orchestra. Fantastic. Some great tracks in that. And that's what it's called, Ray Charles and the Count Basie Orchestra. Ray sings, Basie swings. As you can buy that if you like, and I would recommend it highly for... well, indeed, sophisticated listening. But we don't go into for sophisticated listening in this programme as a general rule. But then again, you see, discerning listeners may disagree with that. This is Gerry Anderson here. I have to tell you who I am because a lot of people have been complaining to say that this programme comes on at 10:30 and they don't know who it is. But you see, you have to say who you are. Sean Coyle is behind the thing that we call the glass. Are you there today? I can't see
I'm here today. We have a problem.
What seems to be the problem?
One of your screens has gone blank.
Everything's fine in here.
Yeah, I know, but it means that...
It seems to be that you have a problem in there.
We have a problem in here. And
everything around me is tickety-boo.
And I have a problem finding Ken.
Ken hasn't appeared yesterday either. Me thinks that Ken has absconded. Me thinks that Ken has made a decision during the course of his holidays not to have anything to do with us anymore because me thinks Ken realises, there he is!
No, it's not.
Who's that? That's somebody with long hair.
Mm-hmm.
That's Grania.
Yes.
That's not Ken because Ken has no hair at all. I would imagine that Ken has made a decision during the holidays after much contemplation that we are not good for his career. Because every time he comes in and does something, we always accuse him of doing it wrongly and we accuse him of sabotaging the programme, which indeed is only partly true.
See, I have found something at the back of the screen.
What is it?
It's a plug.
A plug?
I've got a... What do you call that thing?
An input.
Aye.
But
is there a name? Is there a male and a female?
Yes, there is. It's called input and a plug.
But I don't know. This has got three things.
It's got three things.
How
handy is that? And there's only one thing to put into it.
And there's no place to put it into.
You know the story of our lives.
You know what I mean?
I understand, but we need Ken to advise you.
And the screen's gone blank.
I know.
This has come out of
Where is he? I mean,
place.
this is what he's here for, to make sure. This is a flagship programme.
I know.
This is a Radio Ulster programme coming from this small city of Derry.
So
it must be looked after, nurtured and cared for. Where is he?
I don't know.
The girls don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. You certainly don't know how to do it.
And what we're doing is
we're
trying to find out a way of how we transfer calls to you.
That would be a great idea if you could transfer calls to me, because after all, I'm on the air.
Yes.
And anyone who phones up to talk to me, it'd be great if they could talk to me, and then the listeners could hear. It's a breakthrough. Anyway, let me read a request. But first of all, I'll do a preamble. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
There.
Pardon?
You popped.
I know I popped. I did it deliberately to see if the people were paying
Emma
attention.
has come in. The cavalry has arrived.
Hello, Emma.
Look, with a blank screen. Emma knows about these things.
No, she doesn't.
She does.
No, she's only looking authoritative.
She fixed it.
You see.
Well done, Emma.
Good girl, Emma.
But it was on, Emma Doff.
Just as a reward, you can come in and sit in my knee.
It was on.
It was on.
It was on.
And
Emma
what?
fixed it.
How come if it was on, you couldn't fix it?
It was
yourself?
on. The screen went blank.
Ah, so I see.
And I says,
never mind this. It's done now. Ken has still not appeared, I notice.
No.
He's sitting there eating his bun. I know. And he's withdrawn into himself. Let's do the spiel. The people don't know who's on this programme. It's been brought to my attention this past couple of days, and we just go on and start talking. They don't know who we are. I'm Gerald Michael Anderson. You're Sean, what's your middle name? You don't have one. Thaddeus. Sean Thaddeus Coyle. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme is 08459 55... Look, somebody left that TV on again. Do I have to watch This Morning again? 08459 555 678. I can't watch the one show. I tried last night. Because I thought, I used to watch the one show, and I like Christine Blakely, but I still couldn't watch it, even though it was her, and even though I like her. I still couldn't watch it, and I said to myself now, I wonder what it's like without Christine, because, and I watched it, and I nearly died. After about 10 minutes, I had to turn it off. It was unbelievable. And then last night I watched a bit of it, and Giles Brandreth was shadowboxing at the camera. And I went, no, we can't do that. But a very important function the One Show will perform tomorrow night. As you well know, being a citizen of this city in the northwest, the Maiden City, we're up for the UK City of Culture in the year 2013. And it's shortlisted down to a four. One is Derry, Stoke, Londonderry. The other one is Sheffield, Norwich and Birmingham. And the winner will be announced, the city that will be announced as City of Culture will be named tomorrow night on the One Show.
Excuse me, I'll be listening on our local radio.
Well,
Radio Foyle will be broadcast, and I'm sure Radio Ulster will be covering it. So I'll be listening in.
I know you will be, because all the important people have been invited down to the Guildhall to witness the announcement, but you won't be there. But you'll be at home listening to the radio.
Yes.
Someone came in there. Is that Brian?
That's Big Brian.
What does he want?
He's looking for Ken.
Everybody's looking for Ken. Anyway, we wish Gerry Stoke Londonderry all the best of luck tomorrow night. And can I say something to you? Mm-hmm. There'll come a day, and that day may come soon, when I'll be saying to you, what did you do on the day that Gerry Stoke Londonderry was announced UK's Seal of Culture? What will you say to me?
I'll say I was listening to
No, you'll say I was watching the One Show.
No, I will not. I'll be listening in.
Can you put your hand in your heart, Sean, and say...
I wasn't invited.
Can you put your hand in your heart and say that you wish the city well?
Of course.
You see, yeah.
Unlike you.
That's a cruel and unnecessary thing to say.
Unlike you.
I have always backed this city
You
with
have
every
not.
fibre of my... I have.
Janet's screwing her face up, and you rightly so,
That's
Janet.
only because she's chewing nettles.
Yeah.
You stop that. You stop that. I am 100% behind this. And I shall be down rooting with all the people whilst you sit at home. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme is 08459. That's a cruel thing you just said. You'll regret that.
Will I?
Yes, you will. Yes. You will regret that. Because you're getting me in deep doo-doo. 08459 555 67. I almost said doolally there.
I know.
I've lost control. 08459 555 678. The email address is jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. How dare you say a thing like that? How dare you even suggest that? You're just lashing out at me, aren't you?
I am.
You're lashing out at me like
like
a wounded animal. Don't you like a badger in a trap with your foot caught?
I'll be glad I'll be sitting at home listening to my local radio.
You're sitting at home because
for the
nobody wants you
announcement.
out of the house. They want you in there where they can keep an eye on you. And you're like a fox caught in a trap, going, lashing out at anyone who comes to help you. Anyway, the are the texts working today? Are the texts working?
Yes, everything's up and running.
Text
now.
messaging service
The screen's working,
81771.
Everything is organised.
That's good.
And anyway, when you got the invite from our mayor...
You see, you can't forget that.
No, when you got
You're
the
bringing it
invite
up
from the
again.
mayor,
Yeah.
you should have said, what about the team, Mr. Mayor? What
There
about
isn't. No, the
my
mayor
team?
listens to the mayor listens to the radio. He knows there's no team. He knows it's just me fighting against the current. He knows that. Listen, I have a letter
There's
here.
a call?
No, I have a letter here from a man called Ronnie Hollywood. Will you hear this? We're in a hurry. No, we're in a hurry writing this mail. I had a trip to Nigeria for an excursion with my uncle. Unfortunately, all our money has been stolen at the hotel in which we stayed by some armed robbers.
No. I know it's coming here.
Nobody here. There's a good bit here.
Right.
This is why I read this out, because we get a million of this. This is a good one. And since then, we've been without any money, and we are even owing money the hotel here. So we have only access to our emails, more than we have. Our mobile phone can't work here, so we didn't bother bringing it along. So how did they know it wouldn't work if they didn't bring it? So can we get up to £500? It's spelled Pounce. Pounce,
Right.
which is a cross between pounds and pence. That's a man who's not quite sure of the currency. So if you get £500 on you, please can we get
Where
up
do
to...
I have to send it? I want to send it immediately.
No, I'll read the rest of it. Can we get up to £500 or any amount you can render for us so we can return back and settle the hotel bills? We will return it back to you as soon as we get home. You can have it sent through Western Union. We can receive it here. Please let me hear from you as soon as you receive this mail so that you can send us the information and address where you can send the money to us. All we need now is the money to settle up the bills and leave. We promise to pay back your money as soon as we return home. Please, we only hope on now. Please understand it very hard for me. Explain.
That's great.
Even you wouldn't fall for that.
Joe in North Belfast wants to hear Jack Jones, if at all possible.
A lot of bitterness in you today.
Eh?
Bitterness and hatred. I can hear it in your voice. Please play the Divine Comedy.
Play Jack McGinty from Strabane.
Cat McGinty.
I know, but it says here Jack. Or
I know
Jock. Is it Jock or Jack?
It's Cat. Cat's a
Jack?
female, Katrina.
It says here Jack McGinty.
Does it?
Yes.
Well, maybe there is a Jack McGinty making records in Strabane for all we know. Please play Divine Comedy Frog Prince sometime. I know you don't like the band, but I do. There'll come a day, Sean, and that
What are
day
you
may come
wearing
soon.
tomorrow night?
There'll come a day, and that day will come soon, when we'll have to stand up for Divine Comedy and say whether we like them or not. Do you like Neil Hannon, do you?
He's all right.
I don't. Please say hello and congratulations to Ruby and Joe McMaster. Not as a person, I just don't like the music. Please say he's not an Indian. He's not an Indian.
Who?
Neil Hannon. He's not an Indian. Do you know that song I play about Indians, about who's an Indian and who's not?
No.
It's about an attitude. He's not an Indian. Johnny Cash is an Indian, but Neil Hannon isn't. Van Morrison's, well, no, he's not an Indian
nearly.
either. What?
He's nearly an Indian.
He's a
Nearly.
Choctaw. Please say hello and congratulations to Ruby and Joe McMaster, R-E-H-A-G-H-Y. How would you pronounce that? Rahahi Road, Ochnacloy. Wow.
R-E-G.
Rahahi Road, Ochnacloy. That's a hard one.
R-E-G.
We will be married 50 years on the 19th of July. Oh, that's next Monday. Sorry, I thought it was today. I'm sorry. Can't you see I'm talking here? Why are you muttering?
You asked me to pronounce it.
No. I just indicated that it was difficult to pronounce. I didn't ask you. I hope you don't think I'm being cheeky today, but it's a lot of anger coming from you. And I'm trying to temper it with a little good humour. No, there's hostility from you.
Ever since you got invited to the Guildhall, you've been telling me about your invite.
No, I'm just asking why you won't go. And you keep saying because you weren't invited. And I say, I wonder why. That's all I'm saying. We'll be married 50 years on the 9th.
Do you know what he was doing this? I must tell the listeners this.
Can you see I'm doing it?
Do you know what he was doing this morning? Do you know what he was doing this morning?
I had to turn that off because there was something wounding coming up from something that I was doing this morning. I'm not afraid. What was I doing this morning?
This morning, he says, by the way, he says, I know it'll be announced on the One show, he says, but there will be television cameras in the mayor's parlour. And then he started to go, he said, this is what I'm going to do when it's announced. Yes! And he was jumping up in the air, he says, yes! And then he said, I'm going to try it out with two hands. And he was jumping up with two hands going, yes, yes! Yes. So he's practicing.
I'm practicing.
He's practicing. And it's awful looking, so it is. I hope they don't get you on camera. Yes! Listen to him.
Now you have to get the hiss going at the end.
Yes.
We will be married. Can't you? Have you no respect for people who've been married for 50 years? You're just getting this hostility blown out of you. Ruby and Joe McMaster. Well, may the girls titter. Well, may they titter. I'm amazed they don't titter more. Say hello and congratulations to Ruby and Joe McMaster of Rahahi Road of Ochnacloy. He'll be 50 years married on the 19th of July, which is next Monday. And I apologise, I thought that was today, but sure, I'll do it next Monday anyway, from other friends and neighbours. Love your show. Wouldn't miss it if at all possible. Why is Sean there? I just added that. No, I add wee bits on. Is there someone on the line here?
Yes.
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 There'll come a day, Sean, and that day will come soon, when you will regret the way you've treated me. You will regret when this city becomes the beacon for all to look up to, and you're sitting at home in your hovel, watching the One show. You will say, Gerry could see it coming. Why didn't I listen?
I was speaking to a man last night. The first time I met this gentleman, it was in his company, and unfortunately I don't know his name, but the first time I met him, he was in the company of other people that I knew, and one of the other people there was returning a book to this gentleman, and the book was inside a bag.
I see.
Right? And so he handed this book over to the gentleman, and it just sat there on the table in front of him, you see. So I said, what's the book? And he said, and somebody said, I think it was something about Oliver Cromwell or whatever it was anyway. And he handed the book to me. He says, there you are. He says, you take it.
You take it.
And I said, what do you mean take it? He says, there, take it and read it. I said, well, look, I could have that book months. He said, no, I'm giving it to you. He said, you take that book, he says. He said, I don't want it. He said, I have a policy. He says, I read an awful lot and I buy an awful lot of books, but I give books away. And the reason I give them away is because if you give a book to someone to read, borrow, if someone borrows a book of me, he said, you never get it back. He said, so I just give them away. And he said, if anyone gives me a book, I never give it back to them.
Where did you meet this man? Some kind of mental institution?
That's what he's doing. That's the man. The man says, you keep that book. Now, that's your book. So I have this book in the house in a bag. I must go and look at it.
So he buys books, reads them, and then gives them away to people. So he's got a house with
If anyone, yes. If you say, oh, I'm looking for such and such a book, I have it. I'll give it to you.
Great story, thanks.
I have a book belonging to this man.
That's great. Treasure it.
Yeah.
A gentleman sends me
I've
an
got your book as well. So I've got two books now to start.
Yes, please. I want you to read my book because
I started your book yesterday.
You went down the wrong road.
I know I did.
I'll tell the people what happened. You see, I was writing this book about 2 years ago, and I had a draft made, and I give it to you to have a look at it.
Yes.
And you come in and you said it was a load of crap.
No, I said I didn't like it.
That's the same thing.
No, it's not.
I was hurt by that.
No,
But anyway, I realised, not because you didn't like it, because you don't like anything I do.
Offer my opinion.
No, you said it was a load of crap.
No, you said to me,
I said a load of crap, and you said yes.
What do you think? And I says, I'm struggling with it. He says, you don't like it. And I says, no, it's not as good as your first.
Load of
That's
crap.
what I didn't say.
But you see, this was a different book. This was an attempt that I was making to write a novel. And I can't write a novel because I don't like fiction. And if you don't read fiction, how the hell are you going to write it? So I decided to rewrite the book completely, not because you didn't like it, because I realised it was wrong. And then ever since this book is mentioned, you always say, I read that, it's crap.
No, I do not.
That's the wrong book you read. You didn't read
Yes, I may have read the wrong book, but I don't say it's crap.
Okay.
I just say I prefer your first book.
I know, I have heard you saying things. Anyway, never mind that. It's people don't care about that. Anyway, I hope the man gives you many more books and you can throw them away.
No, I'm going to read it.
Gentleman says to me, would you like to read the words of My Perfect Cousin by Seamus Heaney? As a matter of fact, I was just reading about the late John Peel the other day, and I believe that he's got some of the undertones, lyrics on his tombstone. So I went up to the cemetery and I looked, and there it was. It said on the tombstone, John Peel, I've got a cousin called Kevin. I said to myself, how poignant is that? And I went back to my study and I brought out the computer, the laptop, so to speak, and I tapped in Google the cut dog, or whatever it is at all. And the words came up and I said to myself, I'll have a look at these, and there it was now. I've got a cousin called Kevin, sure to go to heaven. Or indeed, I thought to myself, given the state of the morals of the nation, and more liable to be purgatory, or perhaps maybe limbo. And there's a song about that. Didn't Jim Reeves record a song? Limbo, limbo, where you gonna go, yo? Limbo, limbo, what you gonna, does your mummy know? You're going down the road to see the little Gerry, isn't that it? Always spotless, clean and neat, the smoothest you can get them. He's got a fur-lined sheepskin jacket. My ma says they cost a packet. She won't even let me explain that me and Kevin were not just the same. Oh, my perfect cousin. What I like to do, he doesn't seem to want to. He and his family's pride and joy, his mother's little golden boy. He's got a degree in economics, maths, physics and bionics. He thinks that I'm a cabbage because I hate university. There's an interesting juxtaposition there. He's rhyming cabbage with a challenge, which indeed is unusual. I don't bother with rhyming myself. I think it's a waste of time. I just write it all down. The way it comes out is the way it is. Mary had a little lamb. She couldn't stop it grunting. She took it out into the yard and abused it savagely. He thinks that I'm a cabbage because I hate university challenge. Even at the age of 10, smart boy Kevin was a smart boy then. You notice he's repeated the lines a couple of times. He always beat me at Subbuteo. What is that? Subbuteo? What is that some kind of Eastern religion? What is it?
Game you flick with
What's
your
it
finger.
called? Is it Subbuteo?
Subbuteo.
Oh, that's it, because he flicked the kick and I didn't know. Oh, my perfect cousin. What I like to do, he doesn't. He's his family's pride and joy, his mother's golden boy. His mother, he goes on, there's an extra verse here. His mother bought him a synthesizer and got the Human League into advisor. Isn't that clever? Now he's making lots of noise, playing along with the art school boys. Indeed, we try and avoid that kind of thing. Girls try to attract his attention, but what a shame. It's in vain, total rejection. He will never be left on the shelf, 'cause Kevin, he's in love with himself.
Is it not Teenage Kicks it's on John Toll's?
John Toll's. Well, actually, on John Toll's tombstone, it says, Paula, what have we got to eat today? I must tell John Toll that he died recently. He'd be very happy to hear that. He probably hasn't made his will yet. Give him a chance to do it before Saturday. I'm salivating already.
As the winter winds litter London with love.